Time travel has not yet been invented, but 30 years from now, it will have been. I am one of many specialized assassins in our present called loopers. So when criminal organizations in the future need someone gone, they zap him back to me, and I eliminate the target from the future.
Ooh la la.
Looper! What'd you guys think? We have Kevin and we have Jackson today reviewing Looper. Guys, I'm gonna leave to you.
Go. Kevin, go.
I really like Looper. I don't think it's perfect at all. Like, there's certain little issues that I have with it. Actually, it happens to have, like, the whole time travel thing where every single time travel movie, you can kind of pick it apart. Like, that's sort of, it comes with the genre already. So, but what Looper is, I still think I really liked it. And I'm really happy they made it, because you don't really see like smart science fiction films like this anymore. And considering how hard it was like to get it made, we probably won't see another one for a while now. I don't know.
Yeah, no, I thought it was all right. I thought it's one thing you should know about it is, or not, because I didn't, but it's a film of two completely different halves. Like, the first half sets up the world, sets up Joe, brings old Joe and new Joe together, and has this really great montage in the middle where you
I think the montage at like the very beginning where they start like setting up the universe and the characters and what the loopers are. I think that whole section is phenomenal. It's like terrifically paced. I love the voiceover. It's like really well done.
Yeah, it's great. But then in the middle, it just becomes a different film. It just decides this is what we're doing now, and either you're going to go
slows down
with
a lot from that.
It
first
slows
act.
down big time and brings in new characters and a just completely new direction. And you're like, wait, whoa, what? And some people will go with it. I kind of went with it. I quite liked what it did. I didn't. Some people were like felt completely betrayed and were like, this is bullshit. This is not good at all. But I thought it was all right. So yeah, no, so it does make a tonal shift, and either you're going to go with it. There are 3 points where it'll lose you. Either it'll lose you at the beginning with the fact that all the characters are kind of unlikable, or it'll lose you in the middle when it changes direction, or it'll lose you at the end with the way everything comes together. But if you can stick with it through that, it's a well-made science fiction film, which is really well acted. It's well-paced. There are some excellent scenes in it, like the one in the diner. It's
Absolutely.
fantastic. And you'll probably enjoy it. You should see it and make your own mind up, because it will not leave you indifferent.
So you're saying this is going to be one of those movies that you either love or hate. Is that what you're saying?
Well, you'll either love or you'll find it okay.
Okay.
Or you hate it. But everyone will be different. There'll be a wide range of opinions. It's not like love or hate, but it's like there will be spread.
Okay.
Yeah, I would agree with that. Like I think more people will like it than probably outright hate it.
Yeah.
But yeah, I also really loved the soundtrack. It was pretty cool. Yeah, it's pretty awesome. And this is probably the only sci-fi movie you'll ever see that takes place in Kansas City. So,
yeah,
I'd say that's about accurate.
what'd you think of the like JGL and Bruce Willis? Like them sort of trying to mirror off one another, or more JGL trying to.
I thought it was good. I thought the makeup was completely pointless.
Yeah, speaking of science fiction, Kevin, you commented back when Prometheus came out that it had been a long time since you had seen like pure hard science fiction. How does this?
Yeah, like especially like space science fiction.
Well, does this kind of it's not space, but does this satisfy the sci-fi void that has been in cinema for a long time now?
Not at all.
Yeah, I say it would. I think it's like it's a step in a nice direction. Also,
it's a good film, but I wouldn't describe it as hardcore old school science fiction, because there's a specific scene where it's like speaking out against explaining shit. It's just like, whatever, things will go as they may, we won't go on about them. And it doesn't, it doesn't feel like an older film in that way. It's like a really weird mix of old and new, because it's very noirish at the beginning, loses the noir touch towards the end, but the way it sets up the world is full on a future noir film.
yeah, and it does like the near future thing like really cool too.
Yeah, all the cars just get beat up and hover. That's what happens.
Well, all of them also have solar panels on them.
Yeah, but like sellotaped on them. Like they're the same cars, but they've just stuck solar panels on.
It's one of those science fiction films where it actually seems believable, sort of like in the way of Minority Report was.
No, because Minority Report wasn't, but yes, I see what you mean.
Like Minority Report, like certain aspects of the technology.
Yeah, I guess. Yeah,
that's there is near future, but some of it's more further on.
I don't know. I thought the technology was kind of believable, but the world was very unrealistic. It was very stylized. It wasn't like outlandish, but it was deliberately not our world in the way it had evolved. The way all the cities became.
Are you talking about Looper now, or about Minority Report?
Looper. About
okay.
Looper.
Yeah, still Looper.
The way the assassins work, the way all that things work, I don't buy that would happen in such a short amount of time, and that's fine.
Well, it's 30 years from now. Like, look at the gap from 2000 to 2010.
The certain things that do change, the way that there's almost no society, the way that guy shoots that guy in the middle of the street in broad daylight in like the first reel for no reason in that setup, like, and that's fine. It's just I saw it more as a fantasy world than an actual this could be happening.
Wait, now in the future, the mob uses time travel in order to send people back that they want killed back in time.
Yeah.
So that's like stuff from 2070.
Right. So if somebody in the future is able to shoot somebody right in the middle of the street as if it's nothing, like you said, why does the mob really need...
Exactly! So come on!
Well, they explain it in like one of the lines JGL says that like tracing technology has become so advanced that it makes a body, like getting rid of a body, almost impossible.
Okay, so it's not that they need them killed, they need them disposed of.
Disappears, yeah. They need them to be gone for good.
Actually, that raises a big question, because if that's the case, then how is that police work so, like, intense when in the beginning, in the 30 years in the past thing, in 2044, whatever it is, the people are just randomly murdering on the street and there doesn't appear to be any kind of police, any kind of governing body?
Yeah, and it's one of the things where there's so much interesting stuff going in, like, around with the universe and around the characters and what society is like, that I'd really like to see a TV show based off of.
Ooh.
Because I think there's a lot of like they could expand on a lot of cool things on the show.
Yeah, a Looper TV show would be great. Yeah.
Yeah. So
yeah, and there's this one moment where like the whole philosophy of being a looper is that your final target is you.
Yep.
Like you get sent back, and then like they show a montage at the beginning where it's like other people that Joseph Gordon-Levitt works with, and then they start celebrating after they just killed themselves, because then they don't have to work as a looper anymore.
And they get a giant payoff.
Wait,
yeah.
Okay, so basically they say that if you work for us and kill people from the future when we send them back, then one day we will send your future self back, you'll have to kill them off, and as soon as you do, you're retired, you get a huge amount of cash, you never have to work again a day in your life, but you have to live knowing that one day we will come, we will take you, there will be nobody there to save you, and we will send you back in time to die.
No. The main difference is they know the date. It is always exactly 30 years from that one day. So they always know, they're like, well, this is what I've got. This is the time I've been given to live as large and as free as I want. And that's the choice I made. And they're fine with it. That's why they're happy to kill themselves, ostensibly. I mean, you may buy that. You may think, oh, that...
No, I can understand people doing that, yeah.
But that's the world that they've set up. And that's why
and the way they portray that in the movie is exceptionally well done.
It's well done, yeah.
Yeah, it's like, especially when... there's a moment where the movie sort of backtracks on itself and you don't even know it.
I did. I called it immediately. But yeah,
like I did too, but like it took me like a minute. Like at first, when I first saw it, it was like, oh, what's going on? And then once I realized what was happening, I thought it was really clever.
I thought it was really clever too, but also that bit makes the final act of the film make less sense. But yeah, I did that on its own. That bit of the film was amazing.
Yeah, and it explains a lot of that stuff we were just talking about really well.
Yeah,
yeah.
I don't know.
I think Looper's still better than Brothers Bloom, but it's not better than Brick.
Would you say
But I'm
how
still really
tight
excited.
of a science fiction film would you say this is? Like how is there any moment which you like look at it and say, well, now how does that work? Does that makes no sense?
Yeah.
Does that?
Well,
There's
it's a time
there's
travel
lots of-
movie, so that's sort of that already happens. Basically, you can already pick it apart. Like
It's not very tight.
A time traveled movie is not inherently like you can't protect it from plot holes. Yeah, I don't know.
No, it is full of. It's not full of holes. It's more just like it doesn't bother to. It says there is an explanation, but here's what we're going with, and here's the rules of this one story, and it doesn't fill in any.
So they basically
it's
just
not
kind of say
tight.
there is an explanation, but don't worry about that. Let's just go.
Basically, there's a scene where they're like, "Fuck straws, man. We're getting on with this shit," but it isn't very tight. And if that bothers you, then you won't like it. But if you can just roll with it, no, it's fine.
Yeah, and I think the scene where they kind of show stuff that happens in the future, kind of when it comes back to the younger version or vice versa, it's especially creepy.
Yeah.
Especially in that one scene that takes place at night. That's all I'm gonna
Yep.
say. That is,
I know the one. It has one of the creepiest scenes in a film ever. You don't expect it, but it's fucking creepy.
Yeah, but yeah, I really like Looper, and I'm very curious to see what Ryan Johnson's next film will be.
Cool. Well, what
Same.
do you guys?
I
what do you
recommend
guys
it.
give it then?
B plus.
B plus.
Either a 3 or a 4. Probably a 4 because it is really well made, and either you'll really really like it or you'll think it's good.
Yeah, and I think the sort like because you mentioned that there's not really that many empathetic characters in the first half of the movie, but then once they get to the second part, there's like a really nice relationship that's like really well done and very moving. And that's sort of like the emotional core where
Same.
you find
That's
it.
what the first half makes you think, and the second half makes you feel. I just wasn't a fan of the actual final part, the ending. I thought that was like, okay, it didn't blow my mind, but the rest of it was really, really good.
Yeah. So yeah, go see Looper.
Go see Looper.
I fully plan on doing that. Excellent. And congrats on not spoiling anything. See, we could do this. I knew we could do it. Go team.
This time travel crap just fries your brain like an egg.